Okay, so you've just wedged your clay. You're gonna gently pat it. We're making pinch pots, FYI. So you're gonna gently pat it into a round sphere. Now your ball, your sphere, might have an ugly side. If it naturally has an ugly side, that's where we're going to stick our thumb. So here's my little, there you go, my ugly wrinkle. So that's where I'm going to put my thumb because it's already not pretty. Now we don't want to stick our thumb so far in that it busts out the other side, because then you have to re-wedge back together. It's a real bummer. I don't have long thumbs, so I've never had that happen to me. But if you do, watch out. So my thumb, so it doesn't bust out, it's going to go about that deep. So right in the center, stick it in. Thumbs up. And it's called a pinch pot because we do a pinching motion. So it's not a crab pinch. You're not pinching your little brother. Gentle pinches, like a duckbill, okay? And you start with firmer pinches and gently ease into lighter and lighter and lighter ones. When you pinch the clay, it spreads out, it thins out. And so our goal is to use that pinching motion until we have a bowl just made from pinching. You're going to start on the base. So here on the back side is my hole, and this is going to be the opening of the bowl, and the base is opposite end. So you spend as much time pinching the base as you can. You want the base to be as thin as you would like, as it will be. Like, don't leave some for later. You're pinching out the whole base now, getting it to exactly the thickness you want. So this is what I do. Just these gentle pinches. My thumb on the inside is helping pinch, and I'm rotating the ball of clay. And I'm doing pretty significant pinches right now. I'm using my strength. And as it starts to thin out and it starts to get closer to the thickness that I want, I start using lighter pinches. Because if you do a hard pinch on an already thin part of the clay, you're going to make it really thin. And the thing about pinch pot is you can't thicken it back up, right? It's not really how it works for this one. So if you accidentally make that spot too thin, it's just a thin spot. So you are working the base as long as you can until the base is exactly how you want it, because we are not, hopefully, not going back to fix it. All right, so you can already see it's just naturally opened up. I haven't done anything other than pinch the base, and yet I'm starting to have a bowl. Once your base is the right amount of thickness, again, I'm aiming for about this. And the cool thing about a pinch pot is you don't need to look at it to know if it's the right thickness. Your hand gives you all the information you need. So you just stick your hand in there, gently pinch it, kind of grasp it. You can feel how thick the wall is. Is the base an even thickness all the way around? Is it the right thickness all the way around? These are things you should be saying yes to before you move on. Once you're saying yes to both those questions, thickness is good and it's consistent, you get to start working on the wall. You're working as low on the wall as you can, slowly working your way up. Again, you should be thinning this out exactly how you want before you move on. So I'm going to start pinching out the wall instead. Notice before I was working on the base, now I'm working on the wall. Still rotating, still doing harder pinches and easing into lighter ones as I start to approach the right thickness. Don't want to bust through with a really sucks when you bust through the wall with a too hard pinch. So slowly working my way up towards the rim. If your hand gets tired, use your other hand. And here I'm just doing really light pinches. I'm just kind of feeling all around the wall, trying to get everything as consistent and even with each other as possible. So if I find any little mountains, I'm just gently squishing it down to be flat. We're like terraforming this, kind of clear-cutting the rainforest. No mountains for us. All right, and your bowl will kind of naturally be bowling. It's pretty cool. All right, you may start to get cracks on the rim. We are not panicking about cracks on the rim, not at all. We're not cracking about these really small surface level cracks either. These are just stretch marks. You've asked the clay to stretch and grow. Just like humans, we get stretch marks, clay gets stretch marks. Now, unlike humans, you get to eventually just smooth these over like they never happened. But let's continue pinching because we don't want to smooth anything until we're done asking the clay to stretch out. Because if you smooth it now and then ask it to stretch out more, just gonna reopen those stretch marks. Now, I am starting to have an issue on the inside of my bowl. I just glanced down. I'm starting to have a crack on the inside. Cracks on the rim do not bother us. Cracks on the inside or on the wall do make us ponder, do make us think twice, do make us slow down and say, wait, maybe I need to ask for help. So I'm going to open it a little bit so you can see it. So I've started to get a crack. Can you see it? It is hard to see. There it is. So I'm starting to get a crack on the inside. Luckily, it's not going all the way through. It's not on the back side too. So if you start to get a crack like that, call me over if I'm there, so I can help you do some surgery. For now, I'm just smoothing over it with my finger and seeing if that's enough. If the crack reappears, it's not enough, but sometimes just giving it a little smooth over is all it needs. So at a certain point, you can put it down and start using both hands, which does feel very luxurious. All right, my bowl isn't exactly even, so when I set it down, it's a lot higher on this side. To teach you a quick trick, just to, at this stage, while the clay is plastic, kind of even your bowl out. It's normal for this to happen, where it's just more clay was on one side than the other. So whatever side is highest, this side, I'm just going to gently, a couple times, maybe rotate it a little bit. Now it's more even. It's really all it took. Just getting the base to kind of level out. All right, so now I'm going to go back and pinch my base and make sure that it's as thin as I want, because right now I haven't finished pinching out the rim yet. The rim is still pretty thick because I left it thick on purpose, because pinching out the rim is the last step. So I'm just going back. I could thin out the base a little bit, but now my hand can't reach there. Got little hands. So the way you're going to do it is you just hold it in your palm. We're going to use the pads of our index fingers to just press against our own hand through the clay, and it will thin out a little bit more. I'm still rotating it, always rotating it. And this is just for the base once you can't reach it anymore. All right, checking my walls with very, very gentle pinches, just feeling everything. You don't even need to look. You can close your eyes, because looking at it isn't going to tell you if it's the right thickness or that if it's an even thickness. Your fingers are going to give you the most information. So let's use that. All right, I'm good with it. It's the right thickness for me because I know I'm going to be carving into the body, so I want that little bit of extra space. Now I'm going to pinch out the rim. The rim might crack even more when you do this. It's okay. If it cracks bad or it's really uneven, we're just going to trim it down. So I kind of like to set down for this part, and I use both my hands, and it's really just gentle pinches, getting that last few millimeters of height, because we don't want the rim to be really thick. It makes a thick rim on a bowl like this, makes it feel really heavy, really clunky, kind of amateurish. So this last step of pinching out the rim to be a little thinner than everything else, it's going to help it just give it that classy, professional, made by a high schooler edge. Right. I'm trying to get the rim even with itself all the way around. Okay. Again, if you find any mountains or hills in your walls, just gently pinching those out to match everything else. And commonly, this is super common for people learning pinch pot, the spot that's going to be too thick, that Miss B, when you call me over and I pinch it, I'm going to say, oh, you need to work on the corner. The corner, the spot where the base transitions to wall, right here, is almost always where students leave extra clay. So you can check that yourself rather than wait for me to tell you.
Chapman, I see you left the library. Please return to the library.
It's after school, so there must be something happening in the library. All right, so check your corner. Make sure you haven't left a hunk of clay there. A lot of students do. You just don't realize until you go and check. It's normal. You're not bad. It just happens. It's part of the learning process. All right, so I've got my bowl. It's looking pretty good. I love it. In the next video that I'm going to make in a second, I'm going to show how to trim the rim. And that's it.